From the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Two big stories tonight. The conviction sticks for former Governor Bob McDonnell. We have a look at what it means as his corruption appeals move forward.
First, major victories for drivers who go through the Elizabeth River tunnels and in between them. The governor announces some toll changes that could save you big money. This is the most important day for the tunnels and tolls since they fired up back in February of last year.
And this time it is actually putting money back in your pocket. First, Attorney General Mark Herring says he's looking into those late fees drivers are getting hit with. This comes one day after our 10 on Your Side investigation about sky-high fees aired.
Also today, Governor McAuliffe confirmed that there will be no longer tolls on the MLK freeway, which will connect the Midtown Tunnel with 264. All of this comes just days before a major milestone at the Midtown Tunnel. We have two reporters on Toll Patrol tonight, beginning with 10 on Your Side's Chris Horn.
So, Chris, what is the AG saying about those high fees?
Well, Nicole, he says that the fees are laying out, in his opinion, what can be charged and also what the revenue that those charges generate. Can it be used for certain things? There's no action so far, no enforcement action so far on the part of the Attorney General, but he is essentially putting Elizabeth River crossings on notice. Drivers are getting tunnel toll bills that start out small, but then accelerate into the hundreds of dollars, even the thousands.
Some of the numbers that I've heard about are definitely eye-popping. They've caught my attention, and they would be hard for a lot of families to address, and so I'm sure that we'll be working with VDOT.
Often, the vast majority of those bills are added fees from Elizabeth River crossings. Herring issued an opinion Thursday that the fees cannot be used for general revenue recovery. Fees can be added to reflect the actual costs connected with collecting unpaid tolls.
Our view on the AG's opinion is that our admin fees and processing fees are compliant with the code.
The Transportation Department will gather facts, and then it will be up to the Attorney General's office about whether any enforcement action is warranted.
Either they're in compliance or they're not. And if they're not, somebody brings that out, they'll be in non-compliance with the contract, and then we have remedies.
In Virginia, when an agency enters into a contract with a private company, we expect that contract to be adhered to. We expect that company to follow all the laws in Virginia.
We asked the Attorney General what measures would be available to him if he finds that ERC is non-compliant. And Mark Herring told us it's premature to comment on that until all the facts are in. Live in Portsmouth, Chris Horn, 10 on Your Side.
A reminder now, if you continue to have issues with bills for tolls, we want to know about it. Just send an email to 10onyourside@wavy.com and we'll look into it.
A very real case of one man's trash is another man's treasure in the newest edition of the Tunnel Project. Last night at 5:30, we broke the story that the MLK freeway, once it's finished, will be free of tolls. Well, you can thank in part now to the defunct 460 project for that, to the tune of $78 million. Then on Your Side's Matt Gregory continues our team coverage from the MLK construction site. Matt?
Tom and Nicole, Governor Terry McAuliffe's press conference today, he offered a plan, he said, with points that help drivers all across Hampton Roads, specifically those folks in Portsmouth, he says, are unfairly targeted by the tolls.
This project, as you know, the contract called for collecting tolls before any new capacity had been built. I thought and felt at the time that this placed an undue burden on the citizens and motorists of the Hampton Roads region, and particularly those in Portsmouth who use the tunnels every single day.
While Governor Terry McAuliffe offered his plan to ease toll costs for Portsmouth, Lynn Copeland and his trucking company worked through another day of paying tolls to deliver cargo.
90% of what we do is transiting through, the Midtown Tunnel or the downtown. So I would say it's severely, affected our business.
This year he's paid around $1,000 in tolls, with more on the way when the MLK freeway extension completes next December.
No tolls on the Martin Luther King Freeway extension. No tolls going forward.
In a move 10 on Your Side brought to you Thursday, Governor McAuliffe officially announced his plan to ease toll costs for Portsmouth. For the next decade, Elizabeth River crossings will set aside $500,000 each year for commuters hit hardest by the tolls. They will also cap the most fees charged at $2,200.
Everything I talk about building the new Virginia economy, you would stall economic activity if these tolls were to go into effect here.
It adds up really quick, so every little bit helps.
Governor McAuliffe said the Elizabeth River Tunnels project wasn't a bad idea. It was just a bad deal for the state, and he hopes this is a step in the right direction. In Portsmouth, Matt Gregory, 10 on your side.
The news with the tunnels doesn't stop today. Tuesday will be a significant day for the Midtown Tunnel. That's when crews will sink the final piece of that tunnel, and that will connect Norfolk and Portsmouth. The tunnel element alone is 16,000 tons of concrete. Still a long way to go, though. The Midtown Tunnel will be completed late next year.
Here's more good news about the downtown tunnel, at least for this weekend. The tunnel won't be shut down for any rehab work. The eastbound tube will be closed next weekend.
And our coverage of the tunnel tolls continues on WAVY.com. Just hover over the traffic tab and click on tolls on the drop-down menu for all of our stories.